Hey, Thel.
Hi,
Islanders.
Sane. Islanders. Unfortunately, Dawson couldn't be here today, so we just both played this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a game that is a city builder that I was a little bit confused about when I first started playing it. You're gonna see some video of me doing really, really bad in the beginning because I had no idea what I was doing in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I watched ahead a little bit, and boy.
Yeah. Yeah, the way that I thought it worked was, I heard that it was a city builder with only one resource. And so I played it like a city builder. And this game isn't a city builder, it's like a puzzle game.
Yeah. It, you know, it's funny in how it's a puzzle game, too, because... Oh, wow, you went to the next island, like, immediately.
Yeah, that was me losing my very first game after placing one thing down because I didn't understand how the game worked.
I see.
But the thing is that this game is not like difficult to understand once you actually stop thinking about it like a city builder, because it's not.
Yeah, I mean, it is in a sense, but it's not a city builder in the same way that most games are.
Yeah. It is a city builder in that you do in fact build a city, but don't let that fool you. You do not generate resources over time, which is one of the big things.
Right. One of the things that's interesting to me too is that it's a city, it's a puzzle game in the sense that even some of the buildings later on are shaped like Tetris pieces.
Yeah.
And so you're like having to mash things into the quarter in a specific like Tetris, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like thinking about T-spins and shit when I'm like putting down buildings sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. As you can see here, the general core... oh, excuse me. The general core mechanic of the game is just, you gotta place down blocks, and each of these blocks gives you points, and you fill up the next points to get the next set of blocks. If you can't fill up the bar before you get the next set of blocks, you lose.
Yeah.
You gotta get enough points. So you gotta arrange things in a very, very specific way. And once you get the hang of it, it's really fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this game, actually. I played way more than I thought I would in the first sitting. I just kept going and going because I was, like, so into it.
Yeah.
Oh, and, like, we should mention, this game's only, like, $5, so I think it's totally worth the $5.
Definitely, yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's crazy cheap and, like, crazy fun and really, really surprisingly addictive. Like, unfortunately, since I played, like, this little bit, I haven't gotten back to it, but it's, like, been in the back of my mind, like, ever since. It's really, really great.
And see, right here, you're placing down, like, little L blocks that... Like, even some of the achievements and stuff in this game have, like, Tetris kind of themed things to them, so...
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so I don't know, like, this game's pretty simple, but it's really easy to just kind of trance into it and just keep going and going and going.
It's like, it's one of those wonderful types of games that are deceptively simple, you know? It's like, there is a lot going on in the background, but the basic idea of the game is pretty simple. You place down blocks, you see how much points the blocks are going to give, you try to get as many points as you can.
Yeah.
But
and they give you different kinds of kinds of buildings too. So it's like some are like farming style buildings or breweries and stuff like that, and other ones are more like cities, like areas and stuff like that.
Yeah, like I'm putting down little farms down here, little little places where people can farm. And I'm putting down a brewery, and each of these things, like, depending on where it's placed and depending on what's around it, like, little farms, if they're next to a windmill, they gain more points, and next to other farms, they gain more points, and, like, little breweries gain more points, as you can see here, if you put them next to a little field, a little brewery field.
Yeah,
there are also, like,
they're
logging
called
camps.
hops fields, yeah.
Oh yeah, hops fields. There are also logging camps where you can put next to trees, and those will get more points because those are next to those. And everything gets more points when you put them next to the ominous obelisk.
Yeah, they never really explain that one. It's just like, here's a spooky obelisk.
This is the points thing. this is the points thing. It's the it's the obelisk from 2001. So your guys gain extra intelligence when they're near it. That's just what happens. Here you go, man.
And shamans really like it for some reason.
Yeah, shamans really like it. Shamans like flowers, and shamans also don't like it when you place them next to like cities and stuff.
Yeah. So, like, rather than having resources in terms of like, you know, what, you know, money or steel or resources like that, you instead, you instead kind of have like a what things like other things, and so certain things will be more efficient when they're near other certain things, and then like lose points when next to other things. So there's some objects, like later on there's like a temple thing that when you put it, like, it hates tons of stuff, and it starts at like a negative score or something, so you have to like put it next to a bunch of things it likes only in order to even be able to do it.
It's really nice. I've been playing a lot of Tropico, which is like those two are like a stark contrast. Like when I talk about Tropico, I say Tropico is the most like micromanaging city simulator probably ever, and this is just the exact opposite.
Yeah,
but sort of the same in a way.
That one's all about resources, and this one's like only about what likes each other.
Yeah, but like both of those games, you place every like individual building, and their placement definitely matters. But that game is very much about like resource management and political management, and making sure everyone has enough of everything that they need. Whereas this is about you gotta rack up the points based on things that are next to each other.
You need more points. That's the game.
Just need to get them points. You get enough points, you can move on to the next island. Like here, I could have moved on to the next island, and I kind of screwed myself over by not.
Well, you can keep going, because even if... Like, the thing you need to do is either put down stuff until you can't anymore, or go to the next island. And if you fail to get enough points to get the next island, then you actually lose.
Yeah.
But yeah, eventually I think you're gonna give up and just go to the next island here, if I remember.
But yeah, that's it's really great.
I'm gonna jump forward a little bit.
Okie dokie.
So that we can see some of the like later game stuff.
Yeah, here we go.
Here's like a bigger island. This is the biggest island I had gotten so far.
Right.
And then this is like me already having put down a lot of stuff. And there's that big temple I was talking about.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when I started this one, I was already close to losing. And I had gotten to the point where I had unlocked basically all of the buildings, and it started looping, and just instead of asking me what I wanted, it just would give me random stuff. And so I was like, okay, well, I guess I have walls now. Let me look for places to put walls. And when you're far enough ahead, like when you get to that next score, you don't like. You can have multiple like more things before you even need to start grabbing them. So like you see how that plus is just there. Like I can just keep going with the stuff that I have to the point where it'll like it'll loop over like plus or ×2 or ×3, and then I can click it and then get more stuff. But so this is like in terms of the Tetris thing, you can really see like how efficient I was trying to be with some of these areas, and that like the L pieces are like smashed into the L pieces as much as possible.
That's that's one of the things. So another like thing that I saw on like the Steam store description page of this is like, if you want, it's like if you want to build a city and watch it sort of come to life without all of the resource management, it's like, and it definitely does. It's like you can do all of this in about like 5 to 10 minutes, where it would take like 20 to 30 in like a regular city simulator. So if that's your jam, this is great for that.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. If you're not the kind of person that likes watching the big numbers go up, then this is really good, because all it's really about is finding sort of efficient places to put things. And it has less to do with waiting for numbers to go up and preparing that way. But, you know, obviously, if you're into city sims, there's a good chance you like that, so, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. And, yeah, as someone who is really, really into city sims, you know, it's, the game's good.
Yeah, I really enjoy it, and I can go either way with the like number stuff. Like sometimes it's fine, sometimes I don't like it, but it really depends on the individual. But this one I think is like really smart with how it's set up. So
yeah, it's one of the most clever city simulators I've seen. Even if it's like not one at all, it like took that concept and just made something completely different with it, and I love it. It's like wholly original. I've never played a game like this, and that's great.
It's like a distillation of the core of what city sims are, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
See, as you see there, I just clicked it instead of giving me a choice. It was like, here's some buildings. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, all right, well, here you go, I guess.
Yeah, and the little island designs kind of vary quite a bit too. This one was very much like, this one was just huge. Like, this is the biggest one I had ever seen, and to the extent where they gave me, like, they let me choose where to put the obelisks. They're like, here, have 4 obelisks, have fun. I'm like, shit, well, I guess I'll put one over here, over by this plateau. And then the next one was like, here, have 4 city centers. I'm like, whoa, calm down, game. So, and the city centers are those like big towers by the cities there. So
you get one of those every time you get a pack of cities. You get like little packs of buildings, and you get little city centers for every city pack.
Yeah, and rather than having like over there's like a little gold mine. Rather than having like that give you a resource, it's just like you can build jewelry stores over here. It's like, okay.
Yeah, you can build jewelry stores over here that'll and these jewelry stores will just give you more points if you place them next to the gold mine or next to a city.
Yeah.
That's great.
This park is very important because it's my last piece.
Your last one. You just need to find a place where it'll actually work. And sometimes you get one of those pieces. It's wonderful. It has that wonderful puzzle game thing where you get like you have like 2 pieces left. You only have like a third of the score thing like pumped up, and you're like, oh well, whoops, guess I'm done.
Yeah, I've had one where it's like, oh shit, I have 4 parks and I have to go like almost this whole circle, and then I sit there for like 15 minutes like trying to find the most efficient uses for all of my parks to hopefully like fill up the circle.
Like scratch your chin like, is there a way not to die? I don't know. I think I'm done.
Yeah. So like I saw this game and I was like pretty interested in it, but I didn't really know if it was going to be my jam or not. But I was like, this seems kind of cool. I'll give it a try. And boy, was I like really blown away by how much I enjoy this game. Sometimes I like the very like numeric city sims, and I want to like sit there for hours doing that. But this one is like, man, it was so like relaxing, and I was sitting here for just hours, not even thinking about the time. I wasn't like, I don't know. This one is just so zen. It's like the most zen kinds of these games I've ever played.
Yeah, and when I saw the game, what it looked like to me at first, like based on like the Steam description, I've mentioned that a lot. But again, based on the Steam description, I was like, this game seems like maybe it's kind of a watered down city simulator. I don't know if I like those. I like a lot of complexity in my city simulators, so maybe making like the simplest possible one isn't a great idea. It's not even like a city simulator in that sense at all. It's a completely different thing, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's so totally more like, of a puzzle game more than anything else.
Yeah, so if you're looking at like this and thinking, I don't want like a watered down city simulator, give it a try, because it's not a watered down simulator. It's a weird puzzle game that's just kind of fun to dick around with. Yeah,
and like honestly, it's probably one of the best uses of like $5. I can't believe how how good this game is. Like based on how much it costed. Like this was so like so good for that.
Yeah, so definitely a hard recommend on this boy. Like, damn.
Yeah, I really love it. So
like this one might get into our top 10 list. It was really good.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know about that, but
out. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah. So, thanks again for joining us, and remember, as always, Dawson's not here.
On the wind. It's coming. It's a million miles away, but it's still there.
Stay beautiful.